Assalamu alaikum Nazreen, Adab, Ars. The topic, a hot topic under discussion these days in the Western media is Brexit and who is going to be the future Prime Minister of United Kingdom. Whether we are in or out, there's a lot of discussion and despondency regarding Brexit in the community. And of course, who's going to be our next Prime Minister, what kind of a law he's going to enforce, especially regarding the immigrations. To join with me in the studio, I have a very qualified senior solicitor who is an owner of and a founder of Ashford Law, Harrow, London. And she is a member of Law Society England and Wales, Law Society in England and Wales. And she has more than 18 years of experience in private and UK immigration law. She has a long list of very successful clienteles who are happy with her, and she's happy with them. So please welcome Shalini Bhargva. Shalini.
Hello.
Hi. After a very long time, you are at last here, busy lady. Okay, now let's start immediately regarding the changes that have happened. And I believe every second week or third week there is a change. By the time you prepare a case for a client and you get a letter stating that wo change ho ke ab kuch aur ban chuka hai. So what are the changes in the recent law?
Recently, Saeeda, first of all, thank you for inviting me again. It indeed has been extremely long time, and lovely to see you again. As you very correctly said, they're constantly changing laws in immigration, and as such, there have been recent changes, and the main changes in UK immigration law comes in the start of April and again in November of every year.
April and November.
And November. In between, if there's some other changes, then yes, we find out, like you said, they're constantly changing every few months. And as solicitors and legal advisors, we have to be on the ball that when we are preparing a case, you have to check that the rules are the same as when we started off taking the instructions and preparing the case. So before submission, we have to constantly have an overview of the rules and how they are. And very frequently, actually, it has happened that when a client comes to see us, we have advised them of the best suited category to them. And by the time we started preparing the application and it's ready for submission, the rules have changed. So it puts the client in a very difficult position. And also our position becomes very awkward as well. Where a client might think that perhaps the legal advisor did not know what they're talking about, or this category did not exist, what they were applying for. So it can be quite challenging, and hence you need to perhaps take the opportunity as soon as you see under a specific category where you think you might be eligible and it's a best suited category, rather than leaving it for later. I think just go for it straight away. A lot of changes took place in April, and I think the biggest change that took place was in end of March, whereby the Tier 1 entrepreneur category was totally closed down.
Okay.
It was a very popular category for people who wanted to set up a business and to come to the UK. The investment requirement was £200,000, and if you have a business plan, you could come with your family, your spouses, and your children under the age of 18 to start that business. And this category then actually led on to permanent residence as well in 5 years' time. This category has been closed down. So a lot of people who were perhaps sitting on the fence that yes, this is a category, but it is a big decision to actually migrate from your country to another country.
And investing even 200,000 in this day is a lot of money.
Yes, that's correct. But having considered the amount of money as compared to an investor category, if someone is just looking into business categories, then this was one of a very good category to come into to set up a business and also obtain a British passport. The Home Office has introduced a couple of other categories in substitute of the Tier 1. The criteria is extremely strict for them. However, it sounds extremely attractive. There is a category called Startup, the Startup category.
Okay.
This category is more for graduates who have a business idea that they would like to come over here, implement it. This business idea needs to be now submitted with a few endorsing bodies. So it's not going to the Home Office anymore.
Okay.
So the Home Office has appointed endorsing bodies. Very
Is it like a law enforcement agencies, something like that?
Well, they are maybe venture capitalist firms. They're big companies who are going to vet your business idea and your business plan, what exactly you want to do. Because Home Office is actually not an expert in looking at a business idea and whether that business plan, once implemented, would be successful. So they have set up these endorsing bodies where one can submit their business plan or the business idea, and if it is approved by those endorsing bodies, then you can apply for your visa and come into the country. So startup category is very attractive. Initially, to get onto this step, you don't need to show any investment. All you have to show is your business idea and a business plan.
But business idea obviously has to be beneficial to the country, that like UK, or something unique.
Yes.
Otherwise, I mean, businesses तो बहुत हैं.
Absolutely.
हर तरह के businesses लोग कर रहे हैं, but to come up with something, a unique idea that will be good for the country as well as, of course, for you.
Yes. So you have got to show that it's going to be successful. It would make a contribution to the economy of the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the moment, because this category only came into effect from April 2019, the applications that have gone to the endorsing bodies, there's a huge backlog. So at the moment, there have no applications that have been processed, and we don't know the outcome yet. So it's very difficult to even advise clients who wish to come into the country in this category exactly what is the criteria that the endorsing bodies are looking for as well. All the guidance says is make an application. So there is no criteria and outline that the client can actually follow to present their case. So at the moment, it's like a backlog, and if someone wants to come into the country immediately and not wait for a very long time, it's very frustrating.
Okay.
But
normally, how long does it take?
Well, because it's only came into effect from April.
And you said there's a backlog as well.
There's a backlog because there have been many applications, but perhaps the endorsing bodies are also internally trying to work out what criteria and how they're supposed to process these applications. We are not very sure of. All we know is there is a backlog and it's all being held in a queue. It is frustrating for clients. It is indeed a good category if you've got a genuine business idea that is very innovative.
Shalini, what do you mean by genuine business idea? What? Give us an example.
At the moment, the most popular one is under the tech with IT, those kind of IT or cyber security, something that the country
cyber
needs.
Security,
yes.
Okay.
So these are just a couple of examples of what kind of business ideas that they would be inclined to process. if you relate it to the work permit category, there is a shortage of occupation list as well that I would come to it maybe in a little while rather than confusing both the categories. But the startup, coming back just to the startup category, you can come in with just a business idea. So anyone starting a new business, is just difficult to have a lump sum of investment money. And some businesses actually do not need a lot of investment money as well. For example, in IT, all perhaps anyone needs is their laptop and a desk, and they could start working. So the requirement of a minimal investment is not required.
Any age limit to that?
No,
there's no age limit.
There's no age limit for it. Once someone is in the country for this category, this category does not lead to settlement. So after 3 years, you need to switch on. So it gives us good stepping stone to go on to another category. So you would either go on to the new categories innovator, whereby you need an investment of £50,000. So £50,000 is compared to the £200,000. It's much better. It's affordable for a lot of people, and it's called the innovators category. So these two categories are linked depending on perhaps if someone is a newly graduate, has got a wonderful business idea, then they can use the startup and come into the country just with the business idea, work on it, build up the business, implement it, and then switch on to the innovator visa, which only requires £50,000. Now, with this category...
No, sorry for the interruption. Now, like you said, IT or cybersecurity, anybody, who's interested to open a business. What if it doesn't work? I mean, you've tried. Like you said, you need a laptop and a desk and a small room, and you can start the business. But for that, you need some kind of knowledge, experience.
Absolutely.
It's necessary, vitally important, right? And secondly, I mean, coming in a foreign country and then setting up in business, you need some contacts. Sometimes you're not aware of the legalities of the matter. So how do you cope with that?
These all criteria would be covered in the business plan. That's what the endorsing bodies are. And so they are professional bodies. So if there are about 15 or 20 bodies, depending on what kind of business you want to set up, you would make your application. They would scrutinize your business plan really thoroughly. And then if you are endorsed, that means you do have a good business plan. That's all the requirement is. Then you can just apply for a visa and come into the country.
अच्छा, अगर नहीं हो, कुछ भी नहीं हो, कुछ हो ही नहीं, बात ही नहीं बन रही, then क्या तुम उनको वापस भेज दोगे?
Well, then if it's not endorsed, if your business plan is not endorsed, you will not get a visa. But if you still come on the visa, let's say you've been granted the visa, your business plan was approved by the endorsing body, but sometimes we've come across some exceptional circumstances. Someone has got maybe a medical issue or any kind of maybe funding issue. They've not been able to, for any reason, their business does not take off, then they would have no choice but to go back.
Because I have another caller for you, Shalini. Let's wait for them. We'll continue with that.
Sure.
जी, hello, अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
हाँ, वालेकुम अस्सलाम.
जी, सवाल कीजिए.
हाँ, मैं क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहता हूँ शालिनी जी से.
जी.
हाँ जी, नमस्ते शालिनी जी.
नमस्ते.
हाँ, मैं एक्चुअली मेरे मदर इंडिया में है, तो वो आना चाहते हैं यूके में. तो उसके लिए क्या वो शी इज 71 years old and we are all British citizens.
Right.
So what option are available?
I had this question to ask you, but good.
At the moment, the law for elderly dependent is very strict. So, अगर आप entry clearance करके अपनी mother को बुलाएंगे, then 99% there are refusals under this category, unfortunately. Although I totally appreciate आपकी mother हैं और अगर उनको look after करने के लिए उधर कोई नहीं है, then of course you would want her to come here so you can look after her. आपकी mother UK आ चुकी हैं पहले for a visit?
आपकी मदर पहले आ चुकी है यूके?
हाँ जी, वो विजिटर वीजा पे आते जाते रहते हैं।
अच्छा।
तो अब मेरे फादर की एक्चुअली डेथ हो गई थी लास्ट ईयर। सॉरी,
सॉरी टू हियर दैट। उनको कोई मेडिकल कंडीशन? आई थिंक उनका टीवी ऑन है इसलिए
टीवी ऑन है ना। हाँ जी, थोड़ा सा वॉल्यूम आप अपना कम करें।
एक्चुअली शी इज ऑन हर ओन।
नहीं, बट डज शी हैव एनी मेडिकल कंडीशन?
सॉरी, ओके,
हाँ,
बंद कर दे।
नहीं, कोई मेडिकल कंडीशन है उनकी?
हाँ जी, थोड़ा सा साइकोलॉजिकल और मेंटल डिप्रेशन।
Okay, right. I would suggest please do contact someone to get professional legal advice, because we deal with a lot of elderly parents जो अकेले अपनी country में रह रहे हैं, और जैसे आप हैं settled हैं, आपकी family है, so आप यहाँ से वापस नहीं जा सकते हैं relocate करने के लिए. In that situation, it's only fair and reasonable कि आप चाहेंगे आपकी mother यहाँ आ जाएं और आप उन्हें look after कर सकें. Like I said, rules are very strict, but there are some ways of where, depending on the circumstances, आप application कुछ कर सकेंगे. On maybe on human rights.
तो क्या वो यहाँ से अप्लाई कर सकते हैं आके, के जैसे अगर विजिटर से यहाँ आए हैं, और do we have to apply from India?
जी, अभी एंट्री क्लियरेंस के लिए अगर आप एल्डरली डिपेंडेंट में करेंगे तो उनको एंट्री क्लियरेंस ही लेना पड़ता है. पर अगर वो यहाँ पे आते हैं विजिट वीज़ा पे, विजिट वीज़ा बाय लॉ आपको कोई दूसरी कैटेगरी में आप उसको एप्लीकेशन नहीं कर सकते हैं. अभी अगर आप थोड़ा और आगे प्रोग्राम सुनेंगे तो आई विल एक्सप्लेन इस कैटेगरी में जो हमने कुछ एप्लीकेशन में अपने एक्सपीरियंस में बता रही हूँ कि उनकी फैमिली की सिचुएशन थोड़ा अलग था. पेरेंट्स यहाँ पर आए थे और कुछ एक्सेप्शनल सर्कमस्टांसेस उनके साथ ऐसा हुआ कि वो वापस जा नहीं सके अपनी कंट्री में, और उनको फिर यहाँ से ही एप्लीकेशन ह्यूमन राइट्स पे करना पड़ा. सो उसमें थोड़ा सा ये रहता है कि थोड़ा सा लंबा बैटल हो जाता है टू कन्विंस द होम ऑफिस कि आपकी मदर क्यों नहीं वापस जा सकी, और आप वो वहाँ अकेले क्यों नहीं रह सकती हैं. So that's a human rights application, little bit different from the elderly dependent.
और कोई सवाल है आपका? हेलो, सुन के उन्होंने कॉल ड्रॉप कर दी. अच्छा, हाँ, हम क्या बात कर रहे थे कि आईटी और साइबर सिक्योरिटी वाले अगर आते हैं और उनका सक्सेसफुल होती है होपफुली, तो उनको 3 साल के बाद दोबारा रिन्यू करवाना पड़ता है अपना वीज़ा, जो जिस आता है, जिस ग्राउंड्स पे उनको वीज़ा मिला है उनको रिन्यू करवाना पड़ता है आफ्टर 3 years.
आफ्टर 3 years आपको दूसरी कोई कैटेगरी में स्विच करना पड़ेगा. दिस कैटेगरी इज फिनिश्ड. सो फॉर एग्जांपल, दिस इज अनदर न्यू कैटेगरी. इट्स कॉल्ड द इनोवेटिव वीज़ा. जो मैं बता रही थी उसमें आपको खाली 50,000 पाउंड का इन्वेस्टमेंट दिखाना है. सो दे कैन स्विच ऑन टू दैट कैटेगरी, और उसमें टाइम कंप्लीट करके दे कैन अप्लाई फॉर इंडेफिनिट लीव.
ओके. अच्छा, तुमने अभी कह रही थी 50,000 लगा के. हाँ, ठीक है, लेकिन द पीपल हु हैव ऑलरेडी गॉट अ वीज़ा investing 200,000 over here.
Yes.
और उनको मतलब I know somebody जिसको उसको और उसके बच्चों को तो यहाँ का मिल गया है. And unfortunately what happened कि 10 दिन रह गए थे उसकी एप्लीकेशन अप्रूव होने के लिए. और वो ये लॉ इन्फोर्स हो गया ना जो तुम बता रही हो, जिसकी वजह से नाउ उनके हस्बैंड को आने की जाने की जरा वो होगी, बट उसको और उसके बच्चों को यहाँ मिल गया है. तो व्हाट डू यू से टू दैट?
That's very strange. अगर मेन एप्लीकेंट एंटरप्रेन्योर वीज़ा जो टियर 1 है, जो बंद हो गया है 29 मार्च से, अगर आपका अप्रूव हो गया था, देन उसमें ट्रांजिशनल अरेंजमेंट्स हैं. सो अगर कोई भी उस वीज़ा को लेकर 29 मार्च से पहले उनका इशू हो गया, वो कंट्री में है, तो वो ट्रांजिशनल रूल्स में होगा. उनका एक्सटेंशन भी उसी कैटेगरी में होगा.
ट्रांजिशनल
रूल्स हैं. सो आई एम नॉट श्योर. दैट्स वेरी ऑड सिचुएशन.
आई होप शी कॉल्स बिकॉज़ आई टोल्ड हर दैट यू शुड आस्क डायरेक्टली टू शालिनी. शी कैन एक्सप्लेन इट टू यू.
बिकॉज़ अगर उनको और उनके बच्चों को मिल गया है तो हस्बैंड को मिलना चाहिए, अनलेस थोड़ा सा और पता चले.
एग्जैक्टली, मतलब पूरी डिटेल सच मुझे नहीं मालूम है कि. अच्छा, दूसरी चीज़ ये कि अब जैसे कि मैंने कहा ब्रेक्सिट, वेदर वी आर इन और वेदर वी एग्जिट, इसका इम्पैक्ट जो अपने हैं यहाँ पर इमिग्रेंट्स, उनके ऊपर कुछ पड़ेगा, कुछ बेहतरी आएगी, या मतलब और सख्तियां हो जाएंगी, मतलब there will be more strict towards the.
I think when the Brexit referendum took place, majority of the people thought about the NHS and immigration, and immigration was one of the biggest reasons why people voted for a Brexit. With Brexit, if the Europeans are not allowed to come into the country under free movement, then definitely UK would have to think about bringing in highly qualified professionals into the country.
From Europe, Eastern Europe?
Well, they would come under the same category anywhere across the world. So with the two categories, the new categories that have been introduced, the startup and the innovator, that's what the government is trying to do, is to invite the highly intellectuals, the professionals to start a business who have got a unique idea, a business plan, and which they want to implement. So qualified professionals, that's what the country wants.
Okay. तो मतलब Brexit का और पता नहीं क्या होने वाला है वैसे तो.
There is still a lot of uncertainty, but whenever and whatever happens, that's where I think the government is leading to, that we want highly qualified professionals in the country.
अच्छा ये बताओ कि how come UK is no more an attractive country to the overseas students anymore?
That is quite unfortunate, and I get a lot of people telling me that from overseas, from India, Pakistan, students are going to either US, Australia, and they say, well, we don't want to come to the UK because UK does not offer any sort of stepping stone to get some work experience or a job. So just these days, Saeeda, you would appreciate that just with the qualification, you don't stand anywhere. You have to have that working experience to take back to your country rather than just a qualification. That is why UK has become a little bit unattractive for students who want to come and do their bachelor's or even master's.
So ऐसा क्यों है? Why? How come UK is not giving them that kind of an allowances as compared to UK and Australia? US and Australia.
It used to be. We used to have a category called post-study work. So if someone's completed their bachelor's or master's, you could apply then for a 2-year post-study worker visa that allowed you to work full-time in the country wherever you wanted. And then from there on, if you managed to get an offer for a work permit, you could switch on to that category of Tier 2. So that helped for students who were qualified professionals, and then it gave them a very good transition from a student to working experience, and if they performed well, there was a work permit offer from potential employers as well. But now, because the post-study worker visa has been stopped, it has become unattractive.
उसकी वजह क्या होगी?
Only because they are not able to work. In fact, I was speaking to
something else also, I'm sure. क्या मतलब क्यों? यहाँ पे कुछ वैसे कुछ स्कैंडल्स भी तो हुए हैं ना,
with
students आए और कॉलेज का नाम लेकिन सिर्फ ठप्पा लगा हुआ है and काम कर रहे हैं full time, they're working, they're not studying at all. They haven't seen the site of their colleges at all. They don't even know the name of the colleges that they are registered in.
It's worked both ways. Some of the students who have come into the country with paying the full fee for the colleges, which is about £4,000-5,000. As soon as they land in the country and they go to their college, within a week they find that the college they have lost their sponsor license. Their sponsor license has been suspended, or when it's revoked, the student need to find another college to go to. So if that's the case, they need to fork out another £4,000. And where is one supposed to find so much money as well? It's worked both ways, where students have also suffered because the colleges have lost their sponsor license and their money is just lost. So in fact, those kind of category where students have come, there's been a lot of maybe mental health issues with the migrants who have come.
Really?
Yes, because when they come from maybe small towns to just get a very good qualification and go back to provide well for the family, the families have maybe sold off their land or mortgaged their houses, and it's been a big thing that their child is going overseas to get education, and he will come back, or she will come back to support the family, and the family can be proud of them. But once this happens, they cannot go back to their family to say that, you know, I need another £4,000 because the college is closed and I've lost the £4,000. So, and going back to the country without any qualification is also very difficult, because then they feel that they're a failure. So there's a lot of mental health issues. They've had no choice to perhaps become illegal and then seek work. So there's a lot of issues that are related to immigration.
illegal कितने दिन कितने सालों तक illegal रहते हैं, and then they come back and और दोबारा अप्लाई करें कि भाई हम इतने अरसे से हैं यहाँ पर, हमने टैक्स भी दिया, काम किया, टैक्स भी दिया, तो फिर वो are they eligible to apply for
before it used to be 14 years of illegal residence.
14 years.
It used to be. Now it has been stopped. Now it is 20 years. So अगर आप 20 साल से कंट्री में हैं and you have overstayed your leave, तब आप एप्लीकेशन कर सकते हैं. आपको लीव टू रिमेन मिलेगा ऑन अ 10-year रूट. आपको 2.5 years मिलेंगे with full permission to work. आप ट्रैवल भी कर सकते हैं इन एंड आउट ऑफ द कंट्री. सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, अगर कोई ऐसी सिचुएशन में है where they have overstayed their leave and have not been able to go back to their country for any reason, very important to keep a record of their existence in this country. Very important, because generally लोग 20 साल is a long period of time. जब आप होम ऑफिस को इस तरह की एप्लीकेशन जब आप करेंगे, होम ऑफिस would want to see पूरे 20 साल का रिकॉर्ड, एवरी 3-4 महीने का आपको one piece of document to show कि आप इस कंट्री में थे.
Okay.
So we have seen where there's a little bit of gap, applications do come back. Home Office is not satisfied that you have been in the country for 20 years. So उस चीज़ का proof please कागज़ों को फेंक मत दीजिए कि ये पुराने हो गए, इनकी ज़रूरत नहीं है. उस पे आपका नाम, एड्रेस, डेट होना बहुत ज़रूरी है.
यानी हर 3 महीने के बाद उनको अपना ये ज़रूर रिकॉर्ड जो है अपडेट करना चाहिए.
यानी कि कुछ भी हो उनके पास,
चाहे इलीगल काम भी कर रहे हों.
Well, the Home Office will say that you are not supposed to be working. But for example, आपका NHS का है, अगर आपका मोबाइल फ़ोन बिल है, anything to show that you were in the country.
Okay.
So that's very important, because कई बार
इलीगल जो हैं यहाँ पे जो रह रहे हैं, they can still go for NHS.
For emergency treatment, they are allowed. For NHS, they're not supposed to. A hospital these days will ask for a document. If you need treatment, they will ask कि आपका अपना status दिखाइए, passport दिखाइए, do you have permission? And I have seen in cases where someone has gone on, they need the hospital treatment, then they have been sent a big bill.
Oh God.
So sometimes they give you the option of paying installments as well. But emergency treatment for anyone is free. But for regular treatment,
that you have to.
For example, even women going for their maternity, they need to pay for the delivery of the baby.
अच्छा, ये coming back to the 50,000 investment, can you shed some more light on it? कि जो after like you said cyber and IT में जब आप आ जाते हैं, 50,000 after 3 years के बाद आप change करते हैं, तो वो किस तरह की वो होनी चाहिए, business या idea जिससे कि
£50,000 category is for someone who does not want to go for the startup, and they want to bypass that category because they have got the 50. So they have got the £50,000. Maybe they have got the experience as well, and to come to the country and just start the business.
अच्छा, तो तुम ये कह रही हो कि IT और साइबर सिक्योरिटी के अलावा अगर आपके पास you want to start a business, तो immediately a 50,000 invest करें.
Ji. So the cyber security and IT, I just gave you a couple of examples. Your
but there
business
must be
idea can be anything.
Anything, yeah.
As long as that you have the experience, you can show that it would work and it would be successful. You would make a profit. That's what you would have to show. It can be anything.
Okay.
So
okay.
From the IT point of view, I only gave that example is that certain professions you don't actually need a big investment. So money investing is not important as maybe as compared to if someone wants to open an outlet of clothing. So in that you need a shop, you need to buy a shop, you need to invest money in getting the clothes. So there's an investment into it. But as compared to some jobs like IT, you can just start off
but
straight
do you think
away.
this is the minimum amount that one has to show?
The 50,000 pounds, yes, that's the minimum amount that the Home Office expects you to invest and show that you have this money.
Okay.
Now, although, Saeeda, interestingly, this category, as compared to the 200,000 pounds, 50,000 pounds is much less.
Bilkul.
And the Home Office has published its criteria that 50,000 pounds, you have got a good business plan. Again, you have to submit it with the endorsing body, similar to the startup. So because of the backlog at the moment, people are a bit reluctant because they don't know how the criteria is going to be applied and the applications are going to be assessed. But looking on to, I always believe in looking at the bigger picture. It's not about just processing the visa, that 50,000 pounds, people are very excited. We get so many phone calls about this leave. But when I've looked into this, you can come into the country with 50,000 pounds, provided you have been approved by the endorsing body. You're here in the country. When you come to the extension and you're indefinite leave for your permanent residence in a period of 5 years, you are required to show that you have made huge profits up to, for example, at least afford 4 to 5 jobs of £25,000 each.
Ooh.
Or you need to show £1 million turnover.
Okay.
Or you need to show that, or because there's a list of criteria that needs to be fulfilled, but the threshold is really high. Or you need to show, for example, like I gave the clothing business example. So if you have been allowed to come into the category to open a retail store, you have to show at the end of 5 years that your turnover is $1 million.
$1 million.
Or you have to show that you are doing better than any other local businesses in the UK. So which again, the threshold is really high, and I personally believe that the criteria is almost impossible for any small businesses to be able to meet that. So I would really advise people that don't get excited with any visa, because the purpose is to complete the 5 years and get a British passport. So you've got to look at the full plan before just jumping on a category.
Very good. We have another caller. Ji, hello, assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Alia, and namaste to Shalini. It's a very good discussion going on. I have a question regarding my daughter. She is hearing impaired and working with financial requirements, less than legal requirements due to her deafness. She cannot work in jobs where public dealing is required. So, and she is engaged to a boy in Pakistan with respectable family.
Right.
I wanted to ask, how can she sponsor her spouse to come to London? She's also a British citizen.
Where is she working?
Thank you.
Where is she working? Alia, volume आप जरा कम कर दे अपना.
Okay.
And
Hello.
yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Shalini?
Yes. Alia, you said your daughter has got special needs.
Yes, she's hearing impaired.
Okay. So has she got any assistance from social services?
No, she hasn't.
Okay. How much does she earn per annum?
She has just actually got a job right now.
Right.
She's working at local clinic as in admin.
Okay. So how much does she earn? Because at the moment, the financial threshold for spouse visas is 18,600.
Hers is 14,000.
Okay. So is she able to rely upon any family financial support?
Not at the moment. We're trying to. Her husband is he's engaged and he wants to come over, but we are trying to work out. If
Right.
he
No,
can
no,
help
but
us,
can a family
give us some-
support her, Alia? If she's earning 14,000, did you say? No?
14,000,
So
yeah.
the difference है between 14 and 18, can a family member support her for that? The difference to make
They
it
can.
18, yeah, they can. That's what
They can.
you meant, no?
Okay.
That's
See,
what you meant.
there are a few things when there is some sort of disability, and if she is eligible for some financial support from the government as well, then on the basis of the disability, there are allowances. You don't have to show the 18,600. But these are exceptional circumstances that you should be able to make an application.
Oh, good.
But I would suggest, Alia, that आप ज़रूर जब भी आप application करें, whether on a fiancé visa, because अगर खाली engaged हैं and she wants her partner to come before you get married on a fiancé visa, तो ऐसा भी कर सकते हैं. But in that period वो शादी नहीं वो काम नहीं कर पाएंगे जब तक उनका spouse visa नहीं हो जाए. So but he can come here and within the 6 month period उनको शादी करनी होगी. But even for a fiancé visa, you still have to show the 18,600 requirement. So you can show it from, what I would suggest, show it from family members. If fiancé is working back home, then add on his income as well,
okay.
and rely upon a lot of medical documents as well.
Okay.
Okay, but ज़रूर जब भी आप application करें, please do get professional help, because आपका 18,600 का criteria आप fulfill नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. So वो exceptional circumstances को build up करने के लिए just get professional help so that it goes through smoothly.
I did apply for her DLA. She was getting 3-4 years back. It got rejected now when we applied, because you must have heard about this PIP, personal independence
Yes.
payment.
Yes.
It got rejected.
Okay.
We did apply for her.
Right. But then if she was eligible before, then perhaps, a lot of medical documents, letters from GP, letters from hospital, that what is the disability, how it affects her, how it affects her working life as well.
Okay.
Then those kind of factors need to be taken into consideration as well.
Okay. All right.
अगर कोई मतलब help या guidance की ज़रूरत है, you can always get in touch with Shalini.
Yes.
She has an office on the hill station के पास.
जी.
ऊपर वहीं पे है ना?
जी,
On the
जी.
same premises.
Yes.
So she can always go in and have a word with her.
Oh, that's great.
है ना?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks,
for
Alia.
all.
Best wishes.
Okay,
Take care.
okay,
Bye.
okay. अच्छा हाँ. इससे पहले क्या बात कर रहे थे हम लोग?
For innovator.
हैं?
Innovator.
Innovator.
visa.
हाँ.
So end result
Result.
is very unlikely. So
अच्छा.
इसमें इस category में अगर कोई आना चाहते हैं, people are extremely excited. Please बहुत सोच समझ के to make sure that you will be able to apply for the British citizenship after 5 years. You're indefinite. Otherwise, rethink, work out on other options. It might be that there are other suitable options. So always I advise clients that it's good to have an informed consultation first to know exactly where you stand. So I do tend to give an example of a doctor, get the diagnosis, then you know what treatment to go for.
बिल्कुल.
But the diagnosis is extremely important because UK immigration is very complex and the requirements are extremely, the threshold is really high.
हाँ. लेकिन शालिनी मैं ये देख रही हूँ कि looking back 10 years back and now इतने ज़्यादा मतलब जो है strict हो रहे हैं home office that अब लोगों का जो एक देखो ना अब like this is a tourist season.
Yes.
ये गर्मियों में जून से शुरू हो जाता है. People want to come here और जाहिर है इनकी मतलब ये कि आमदनी बढ़ती है
जी
यहाँ पे जब
जी
टूरिस्ट आते
बिल्कुल
हैं,
हाँ
है
ठीक
ना?
कह रही हैं आप।
लेकिन उनको भी वीज़ा जो है मतलब बड़ी आसानी से नहीं मिल रहा, कईयों का तो रिफ्यूज़ हो रहा है।
बिल्कुल एब्सोल्युटली आप ठीक कह रही हैं साइदा। एट द मोमेंट टूरिस्ट सीजन इज गोइंग ऑन, आई माई सेल्फ एंड ऑल्सो द क्रिकेट वर्ल्ड कप इज गोइंग ऑन।
बिल्कुल।
उस वजह से फ्रॉम इंडिया पाकिस्तान
yeah.
lot of people have applied for visit visas, and I have actually come across in the last 4 weeks at least 4 refusals
Really?
in this category, जो उन्होंने अपने क्रिकेट वर्ल्ड कप के लिए टिकट्स खरीद रखे थे, उनकी फ्लाइट्स बुक थी, अकोमोडेशन sorted, उन लोग ने वीज़ा का एप्लीकेशन किया and it was refused.
अच्छा पता, you must be knowing कि क्यों, जब सारे वैलिड रिक्वायरमेंट्स उनके जो थे उन्होंने होम ऑफिस को सेटिस्फाई कर दिए, नहीं मतलब दे दिए प्रूफ दैट के जेन्युइन विजिटर्स हैं, एंड आफ्टर द वर्ल्ड कप दे विल गो बैक, तो ऑन व्हाट बेसिस नॉर्मली दे रिफ्यूज इट?
Sometimes we find that जो डॉक्यूमेंट्स क्लाइंट भेजते हैं वो या तो करेक्ट फॉर्मेट में नहीं होते हैं, जो वीज़ा ऑफिसर देखना चाह रहे हैं उस वो documents are missing, the vital documents. Generally what people tend to think that it's a visit visa, tourist visa hai, we can do it ourselves, but unfortunately UK is a very difficult visa to get. I have got a few friends who deal with they are tour operators, and they tell me that when they apply for visas for their passengers for European countries, for UK, every country is absolutely fine. Is the UK is the most challenging one, and so they were saying that what they tend to do is get the UK visa first. It's like a trophy to get UK visa, and then they apply for other visas, because any visa officer of different countries would see, okay, UK visa is there, so it increases your credibility that it indeed is like a trophy. So for UK visas, coming back to it, the most common reason for refusal is we don't think that you are a genuine visitor, or you don't have the affordability as per the basis of your income. Now in India and Pakistan, the most common setup of how the families run, especially when they have got businesses, is if it's a family business, people tend to say, you know, it's all cash dealings back home. We don't have a record. We have the accountant's report, or the father, the head of the family, is looking after the financial side of things, and it's a joint extended family. So when their children, young couples or youngsters want to come, and they have to submit their income proof, there isn't any, because still the father is looking after the finances. It's a family home, so they don't own the property. They're living with mom and dad and working in the family business. So the incomes are not massive, but everything is looked after. We recently did a case, and the income was a small income if converted into pounds, but the couple had their own businesses. They had assets worth £200,000. Their flight tickets were bought for to come to the UK for 20 days, and return tickets as well. They had Cricket World Cup tickets as well, booked in their name. They'd been bought. They had family friends who had offered accommodation for 20 days, so food and accommodation was sorted. And still the visa officer refused their application, saying your income, what you have, is not enough to fund the trip. And bless them, they made the application twice by themselves. And it's on the third occasion that they came to ask to just get assistance with the visas.
The legal advice.
Yes.
So would you suggest the best thing is to go through the legal proper channel, and going through the
absolutely, because first of all, they've not been able now to come to see any of the matches for which they invested money. It was a big group of family that were coming, so they were extremely disappointed that they were not able to come. And also it blacklists you with the UK visa offices as well, because you have got now 2 applications. If you don't do anything to resolve it, because they know that they have got the money, they are very frustrated because everything is there, but they have got 2 refusals. They've traveled different countries as well, so the UK visa officer had proof of that as well. They have traveled overseas to various other countries. Still, that's not been considered. So if they come back maybe next year for another visa to the UK, it would still come up in the system that you've had 2 visa refusals, and the scrutiny of your application would be further magnified then.
वैसे ये बहुत, but can you blame them? You can't blame them really for being so strict. Simply because आप लोगों ने बहुत abuse किया system को.
Yes, in some respects it's correct, because there is a prescribed criteria that you must fulfill. So if they're only caseworkers, if they do not see the correct format or clearly identifying what is your income, it's difficult for them to calculate everything for you. The onus is on the client. It's your application. You have to prove it to the visa officer that you comply with the requirement. And sometimes it also happens that all the information is there, but the caseworker has not looked at it properly. So that also happens. That is why it's so important that you get legal advice in the preparation of visa applications, because either way it needs to be a well prepared and well presented application, because as legal advisors we know exactly what the visa officer wants to see, and I believe in that. When he turns the page, he is looking at what he wants to see, and your application is processed and is approved.
अब एक तरफ तो ये इतने मतलब strict हो गए हैं, विजिटर वीज़ा, बिजनेस वीज़ा एंड अदरवाइज, और दूसरी तरफ यहाँ पे ये हो रहा है कि इंडिया पाकिस्तान से शादी करके आते हैं
जी,
और यहाँ पे आके और ड्रामा शुरू कर देते हैं लड़कियाँ खासकर कि यू नो दिस इज़ एन अब्यूसिव फैमिली, मुझे मारते हैं और मुझे ये करते हैं. टोटली फैब्रिकेशन, टोटल फैब्रिकेशन, ऑल फिब्स एक्चुअली. यू नो बेचारी सीधी सादी. आई नो अ फैमिली, उसकी जो मदर इन लॉ वो बेचारी शी इज़ सफरिंग फ्रॉम सिवियर स्टेज 4 कैंसर, और शादी से पहले बहू रानी बड़ी अच्छी थी उनके साथ, अब बिहेवियर वाज एक्सेप्शनल, एंड सून आफ्टर दैट शी इज़ हैविंग कीमोज एंड ऑल, एंड वो ये कह के जनाब उसने शिकायत कर दी कि यू नो दिस इज़ एन अब्यूसिव फैमिली, एंड वी वर ऑल व्हेन वी हर्ड वी वर शॉक्ड कि फार फ्रॉम द ट्रूथ. और उसको मिल गया यहाँ पर रहने का. मतलब एक तरफ तो आप इतने स्ट्रिक्ट हो रहे हो और एक तरफ आप ऑन व्हाट ग्राउंड्स. एटलीस्ट आपको भी चाहिए कि प्रोब करें, इंक्वायरी करें कि फैमिली वाकई में अब्यूसिव है, तंग कर रही थी, परेशान कर रही थी. इतनी आसानी से इन लोगों को मिल रहा है.
Well, there are specific categories under the like human rights for domestic violence if it's proved, because it's all about documentary evidence. So it depends on case to case as well. But under the human rights, you can make various applications if you're in the country.
Human rights cases,
human rights as well, which is a good thing that the country has, that if you believe that you have got exceptional circumstances and compelling circumstances why you cannot go back to your country. For example, we discussed the students as well. So you are able to make an application to the Home Office. It might be something very bizarre, and you and I might think this is a very silly reason, but it is for them, it's their reason. And the law allows them to submit an application to be processed, to be looked at by them, and if accepted, you will be granted that leave. This is the only thing that we have here, and hence the strict criteria for people who are applying for entry clearance from their country, it is very strict. You have to put in a well-prepared application. I cannot stress enough, because once you have a rejection, then future applications also have a negative impact.
I know, it's not one case, I know various cases. कि बेचारे शादी करके लेकर आया बांग्लादेश से, और यहाँ पे उसके बच्चे हैं, बच्चों को ले गई, उनको सबको मिल गया असाइलम, और वो बेचारा परेशान फिर रहा है कि मेरा कसूर क्या है. कोई कसूर नहीं, मगर बनी नहीं बात। कुछ तो आते हैं with this wrong intention, once they have the passport stamp लग गया उनको, तो वो उसके बाद उनकी आंखें जो है ना यहाँ माथे पे होती हैं, फिर वो बिल्कुल।
Yes, I think that is why with spouse visas before, they had said there was no English language requirement. But now there is, because the government wanted that anyone coming in this category should be able to communicate at least in basic English. So if they need any help, they are able to communicate in the language. A lot of people are genuinely suffering where maybe the spouse is a mature person of maybe 50s and cannot be expected, never been to school or college, is expected then to pass an English language test. And there are couples who have not been able to unite just because of the English language. So like we were telling Alia as well, these are exceptional circumstances where her daughter has got special needs. So there are ways to present your case on exceptional grounds, but then again, it has got to be well presented, and extensive documents are submitted to show that yes, there are exceptional circumstances. Just by saying and putting one piece of document that okay, my daughter has got a hearing impairment, it would not be enough. So you have to go beyond that when you are applying under exceptional circumstances.
दिखाने होंगे proof.
Yes.
And
yes.
Okay. आज ये तो बड़ी अच्छी बात तूने बताई है, because ये जो एक ब्रैकेट है 18,600 का, हर एक जाहिर नहीं कमा रहा होगा, एंड वो इसी मे बी दे आर नॉट अवेयर ऑफ इट, लाइक यू जस्ट सेड कि अगर फैमिली उसको असिस्ट कर देती है, हेल्प कर देती है, द डिफरेंस बिटवीन 14,000 and 18.
Yes. Although the rules are across the board, they do say that 18,600. That's how it must be.
But then exceptional circumstances.
Yes. But the threshold is really high. Generally, they would just refuse the application if they don't see 18,600 for a period of 6 months or 12 months. They will refuse the application.
They would refuse the application. Achha. Can we talk a little bit about the elderly parents, and of course कुछ लोग अपने साथ डोमेस्टिक हेल्प लेकर आते हैं?
जी
उसके मुतालिक क्या कहोगी तुम?
For elderly dependent, before we had a call as well, it's a very strict category. I think the last time also I came, Saeeda, on Ahlebait TV.
Still the applications are growing.
Yes, and
क्योंकि elderly वहाँ पे बेचारे जिनको कोई फैमिली नहीं है, उनको तो
कहाँ बिल्कुल. और in the UK as well, in anywhere in the communities, it's always encouraged कि youngsters अपने parents को look after करें उनकी old age में, and then on the other hand, the visa is not being granted, especially where families, the frustration of the family is they can financially stable, they will provide the accommodation, they will not claim public funds, they just want to look after their parents. So then they say that we are going to look after our parents.
They won't be a burden to the social services.
That's right. So why is the visa not being granted especially where the other parent has passed away and there's only one parent left? I can't imagine how the family would be able to cope with it, knowing that their mother or their father are by themselves, and with increasing age it's not going to get better. They will just get older, and in the best of circumstances, even if elderly people don't have any medical condition, just the age in itself, just getting back home would at least take you 8 to 10 hours. And when you have family commitments here, आपके बच्चे हैं, आपका job है, no employer would give you time off as well. You will lose your job. So they just want them to come here and look after them. And I think it's their duty to look after them. Some people do say it is our duty, we have to look after.
या तो इनको ये फिक्र होती होगी कि there'll be obviously a burden to the social services. They'll start claiming immediately for their mother or father.
Well, at the moment they say, well, if that's the case, either you can relocate over there, or if you send the money from here to your parent to provide the care. But sometimes, like the caller before was saying, that depression and mental health, loneliness is a big problem. Who will come and look after when they're themselves? It's not just about money, that send them that they have a roof over their head and food. Also, in some countries, there's domestic help available. So, Home Office view is there's domestic
We'll
help.
talk about later. We have a caller.
Yeah.
We'll talk about domestic help. Ji, hello, assalamu alaikum.
Ji, walaikum salam.
Ji.
My name is Khadija.
Yeah.
And Saeeda, I'm calling regarding this Tier 1 visa immigration which I came through almost 5 years back. And I was the main applicant with my 4 children.
Right.
And we came here and have set up a small business. After 3 years, 4 months, I took my extension visa.
Right.
And then after that, my visa application which I got extended was on the 1st of February.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to ask that Shalini, hi Shalini, that now when I have come to the point where I have to apply for my ILR, they say that the law has changed and now not only the main applicant, but the dependents also have to be in the UK for 180 days.
Mm-hmm.
So for that 180 days, my children have cleared that time.
Right.
Now, I need to ask you that why is this being applicable to those people who have already passed their 3 years? Because the law came on the 18th of January 2018, and I got my renewal of my extension done on the 1st of February. So I am just at the 11 days of this law. So a person who is right at the end of getting the extension gets to know that my children and my husband will not be getting the ILR and will not be going ahead for the passport just because only my husband could not stay 180 days. And that was also because of a reason where his father has passed away just as I entered UK 5 years ago, and he could not leave his mother behind.
Right.
He tried to make most of his days here.
Yes.
And now, as per the law, he's not being, and my children are not being given the ILR.
Did you make an application, Khadija? Has that been refused?
No. Now, right now, my application for ILR is going to be submitted in September.
Right.
So I went to my immigration lawyers,
Right.
and they said that my husband and my children are not eligible to go into the process.
Right. So what has your lawyer suggested then? Because their leave would be expiring.
Yeah. So what he has said that I should be applying for my ILR.
Yes.
And my husband and my children, after once I get my ILR, because my time of the 2-year extension ends on the 1st of February. So
Right.
they will be applying for the 2-year extension visa again on the 1st of February, and I will be applying for my ILR this year, September. Now, my only question is, why are the people who had come 3 years back
Yes.
and did not know about the new law which would come after 3 years,
Yes.
right at the point where we've got our extension? You know,
Yeah.
this new law should be applicable only to the people who are applying from that date onwards, not those people who landed with all their savings, everything they had, they burned their boats behind, they came here, lived here, you know, got their whole family set up here, and now at the time of ILR, we are getting to know that there's nothing for us,
Yeah.
for my children. What purpose of that passport will, I have if my children don't get it?
I think, Khadija, 2 ways of looking at it. Like we were saying, when there are exceptional circumstances, you can make an application on that basis. Now, depends that what is the shortfall in the absence for your husband and your children. If it's not a lot, you can certainly still apply, just explaining your situation and when the rules changed, and ask the Home Office to exercise the discretion in your favor. And also the extra absences, you need to give reasons that why you were out of the country. Yeah, because like you said, your husband's parent passed away, so there's a genuine reason as well. Because I think it's again putting on detailed representations, that is if you want to take the risk. Of course, I've not evaluated your full application and your circumstances, but it needs to be looked at it carefully. It's not that your children and your husband would not get ILR. It's just that, yes, it's a bit frustrating because it's extended. They will have to extend it for another while and then apply for ILR. So it's an expense, but it's not that they will not get that.
They will get.
They will get it,
okay.
but it's going to take you a longer period of time. But if you don't want to wait for that long, we'll have to see that under the exceptional circumstances, whether there is merit in the matter to actually put their application as well and request the Home Office to exercise its discretion in your favor and overlook the absence. But of course, we need to see how long the absence has been as well.
Okay, Khatija?
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything you need further advice or guidance, you just call Shalini. Like I said, she's in Harrow on the Hill Station. Always there.
lovely. Okay.
Always there for you.
Best wishes. Good luck, Khadija. I know it's very frustrating,
Yes,
but there are
a law
yes.
which is just suddenly changed, and they are applying it to people who have come 3 and 4 years back for their on their application is not justifying, I think.
Yes, no, there are transitional arrangements as well, and I think that's the challenge, that when rules change in between, but you fall under the transitional arrangements, it just needs to be looked at carefully. The assessment needs to be done very carefully, and maybe challenge it and put in a detailed representation to show that you are under the transitionary arrangements, and the challenge that you're actually facing if there's only been a gap of 11 days and the rules changed. And that's exactly what we were discussing at the start of the show as well.
Very frustrating indeed. But itminan ye to hai na ki at the end of the day they will get.
Yes, they will get it, but yes, then it's an extra expense for them as well. Because now they will have to just
कहीं और है बच्चे और वो यहाँ पर खर्चे वगैरह ये वो सब.
बिल्कुल.
Yeah, but inshallah, anything you just contact Shalini, Khatija. ठीक है?
Thank you so much.
Okay, Khatija. Now we were talking about the domestic help. Domestic help के लिए क्या requirement?
Yes, I think
we have one more caller.
Sure.
And then we have only 5 minutes. जी हेलो अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम. मैं माशाल्लाह से आपका शो बहुत अच्छा जा रहा है. मैं बहुत अच्छे देखती हूँ आप लोग का शो.
Thank you.
और शालिनी जी को अक्सर सुनते हैं, आती रहती हैं वो प्रोग्राम में. और मुझे उनसे एक सवाल पूछना था, ये कि मेरे हस्बैंड के जो भाई हैं उन्होंने अब मेरे हस्बैंड के स्पॉन्सरशिप के थ्रू जो है वो प्री सेटल स्कीम में जो है वो डाला हुआ है अपना केस. उनको बायोमेट्रिक रिसीव हो गया है लेटर, जो कि नॉर्मल पोस्ट ऑफिस में जाके करना था. बस ये पूछना चाह रही थी कि इस बारे में आप कुछ रोशनी डाल सकती हैं कि क्या हो रहा है आजकल प्री सेटल स्कीम के केसेस के साथ, क्या हो रहा है, कितने दिन में जवाब दे रहे हैं और चांसेस कितने हैं. क्योंकि मेरे लाइक एक्सटेंडेड फैमिली मेंबर में पहले आते थे मगर अब वो फैमिली मेंबर में शुमार हो गए. तो इस बारे में आप कुछ रोशनी डाल सकते हैं तो प्लीज ज़रूर बताइएगा.
At the moment, any application or even biometric करने के बाद में very difficult to say कि कितना time लगेगा. Generally, people take it that biometric करने के बाद it's promising that we've given the fingerprints, but that is just a normal process of any application. And sometimes even after doing the biometric, it's taking, depending on the category, it can take up to 3 months, 6 months. And the way things are at the moment, अभी जो Brexit का चल रहा है with the issues with the Prime Minister, and so the country situation is such that the Home Office is also very busy. So the best thing is that just to wait and be patient, and it's very difficult as the situation.
How long to wait? Till we get a new Prime Minister?
No. It's nothing to do with just with the Prime Minister, but अगर ज़्यादा time लगता है, maybe let's say 3 months or so, आप contact कर सकते हैं Home Office को or just to get an update. But between 3 to 6 months, you would have to just wait and then chase them up.
ठीक है. ठीक है, गुड, थैंक यू। और चलो जल्दी से, अब थोड़ा सा टाइम रह गया है, शालिनी।
Yes, I think continuing
का कोई नया लॉ आया है, कुछ है, कुछ
not
any
domestic
changes?
help, no, it's the same, that it's not possible, but just keeping in line with the business migration that we were discussing. There are ways for people who have got businesses in their home country, and
In the home country.
in their home country, if they've got a business and they are not major shareholders, they can come here and set up a branch office in the UK, which does not need any investment. So nothing prescribed by the Home Office. So they are free if they wish to invest money, or if they don't need to invest money, that's fine. So without any investment, they can come here, they can bring their spouses and children who are under the age of 18.
अच्छा, okay.
If they complete the 5 years in this category, setting up the business and just starting to trade, after 5 years they get the indefinite, and then subsequently after 12 months the British citizenship. So that's a very good category for people who are looking into coming and settling through the business route.
अच्छा.
This is a very good category for people to take advantage.
वहाँ से ला सकते हैं।
Domestic help is not allowed.
Domestic help बोलो, कुछ और बताओ ना, क्या changes?
Domestic help, it's only you can come in as the visitor, just like 6 months. So if someone is coming and they want to bring the domestic help, they can bring them, but they get only 6 months leave, and they have to go back and then apply for another domestic worker visa for 6 months and come back into the country.
Every 6 months they have to.
Every 6 months.
6 months.
Every 6 months. So which financially it does not make sense. It's too much money to spend
अच्छा,
on it.
कितना मतलब अगर every 6 months अगर बुलाना हो, कितना पैसे लगते हैं?
The visa fee, normal visa fee, which I think is about almost just under £100 for a visit visa.
Okay.
And then of course then you'll have your flight tickets as well to look at. So you have to look at the expense. But if the need is, we have got a couple of clients, their parents are really very sick, and they needed that full-time care, and someone was looking after the parent for more than 20 years back home. So it made sense for that lady to be here looking after the elderly parent, because she was so used to her, and she's really very unwell. So we made an application on human rights for her to get some permission for that lady.
So you can make an application on human rights basis.
On human rights. Like I said,
that is a clue.
Like I said, sometimes the reason why someone needs to be here might sound very bizarre and silly to you and me, but it's their reason. And if they can justify that, we can prepare and build up those grounds to submit good representations to the Home Office to make them see that, look, this is a genuine reason why this person needs to be here. So human rights gives us that scope to put forward these kind of applications.
Thank you very much, Shalini. बहुत ही informative तुमने talk दी है. I would say it's a talk, and of course and very जो questions है उसके तुमने satisfactory जवाब दिए हैं, and I'm sure काफ़ी अच्छी legal तुमने जो advice दी है, तुम, because now I know for sure जो तुम busy हो, इसलिए कि तुम माशाल्लाह clients को satisfy कर रही हो, and they're happy. I saw them the other day clip में, very happy and satisfied clients going all gaga about Shalini.
It's very important when people come to a solicitor, they are most vulnerable. And I think the trust that they place you have to justify that. You cannot, I think I won't be able to sleep at night if we were not able to give them the right advice and put them on the right path.
बिल्कुल सही, बिल्कुल. So, but what I would suggest, every time if you think there is a law that has changed and that need to be addressed, especially for the Asian community, please do let me know, so then we can do another program on that.
Of course.
It's vitally important, especially for the students, for the visitors, like this girl Khatija said, you know, और या वो आलिया का केस, ये सब चीजें, मतलब अगर कुछ इसमें changes आ रहे हैं या कुछ improvement है या तुम समझती हो कि हाँ there is a hope, let me know, you know, we can have a program.
And especially with elderly dependent, I'm very passionate about the elderly dependent category. There has been some success. We have been able to help many clients. So if anyone needs help with elderly parents, please, if you want to contact me, don't hesitate.
Elderly parents.
Yes.
जी नाज़रीन, आपने सुन लिया, कुछ इन्हीं ने आपको तदाबीर बताई हैं, कुछ एडवाइस दी है, कुछ क्लूज दिए हैं. ताकि आप लोगों का जितना भी भला हो सके, फ़ायदा हो इस हवाले से। तो आप शालिनी से भी बात कीजिएगा और टेक केयर टिल नेक्स्ट टाइम। अगर कोई और रद्द-बदल होता है लॉ में तो हम दोबारा प्रोग्राम करेंगे, क्योंकि मुझे कॉल्स आई थी आपके कि यू नीड टू डू अ प्रोग्राम ऑन इमिग्रेशन। सो इसको मैं चेस कर रही थी काफ़ी दिन से, एट लास्ट आई गॉट होल्ड ऑफ हर। तो इंशाल्लाह टिल नेक्स्ट टाइम टेक केयर ऑफ़ योरसेल्फ। सईदा रिज़वी को इजाज़त दीजिए।